getting caught with my pants down. So in this episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about what had happened next after I have done my renovations and the continuation of the story. So one day, I decided to visit the property. So I traveled to my property to do a checkup on my property because there was nobody there. It was vacant, right? Um, at this time, I was advertising it for a rent, and like I was just there just to like check up on the property, just to do a like little bit of a cleanup, right? And when I got to the door, because there was nobody that was living there, right? So I got this card that was that it was that they stick it on my door, like wedge on my door, right? And it's coming from the city. So I knew right there and then that the city was trying to get a hold of me, right? So since there was nobody on the property, they were trying to get a hold of me. And on the card it says that call me, right? So there was two words. So it's call me. So at this time, I have two options. It's either that I call the city, right, or I don't call the city. So I was trying to weigh my pros and cons, whether I should do call them or whether I should not call them, right? Like whether if I just wait and wait and wait, I let it slide for a bit and hoping that the city will forget about me, right? So that's what my thinking was. On the other hand, at the back of my head, I was like, if I go clean and if I rectify it now, maybe in the future I don't have to go through all this a problem of like, what if I got caught, right? When I have a tenant. At this point, I don't have any tenant yet, right? So normally what happened was when the city gets involved is that usually what happened is somebody made a complaint about you. So in my case, somebody had complained about me. It's most likely my neighbor that made a complaint about me, and this was probably during the renovations, right? And the sad part about me was that the city didn't showed up when I was doing a renovation, right? So at this point, my renovation has been done for 2 months now. Everything was done, clean. I spent a lot of money. I didn't take any shortcut on my renovation. I put in like a decent material, right? On this property, so it was not one of those like hanky panky like renovations, right? This is like legit. Even though I didn't get a permit, I still went in and put in a good like renovations, right? Um, so so I was thinking if I should just like not call them, and hoping that the city will forget about me, right? So I called my one of my buddy and I said, like what would happen if I don't call them, right? And my buddy said that he said that um, the city don't normally come and enforce themselves to come in and check on your property. So that's what he said to me. So I was thinking that, yeah, if I just don't call them and hopefully that they'll forget about me, right? And at the same time, at the back of my head is that what would happen if they actually do come and enforce their way in, right? Because one of the paralegals said to me too that like when I was asking for an advice was that like usually a city has the power to report you to court, and court would give you the some kind of a judgment, right? And they will send you a court notice, and they can fine you. So at this point, I decided to come clean. So I called this card, right? Um, and I said, "Hey, what's up? Like, what do you want from me?" Right? I didn't say it like that because I was told by my buddy that like whenever you talking to the city, like you have to be very cautious, right? It can go a long way because if they don't like you, they can make your life miserable, especially if you're a minority. In if you're not from the city, like from that city, they can make your life so miserable, right? So that has always been on my head, right? So like when I called, I was very courteous, very professional, and like right there and then I apologized, right? I said, listen, I was I did like renovations. Yes, I didn't go through the permit because the reason being is that I was having problem getting a contractor, which is true because the contract at that time is very hard to get, right? So that's what I have said. So the inspector said that look, we're gonna have to come and inspect your property, right? And this is the building inspector from the city. So I said, okay, when can you come, right? And this was about November. This was about end of November, and in a couple of days it will be December, right? So I thought it would be like the following week and it will be done, right? He said, so our schedule will be on the January. So I was like, oh man, um, I'm stuck for 1 month, right? So I can do anything for 1 month because I have to follow what the city schedule is, right? So they said that at this date, I'm gonna give you a date, and at this time you have to be on the property, and you have to, and we're gonna come and inspect your property. So when they said that like we're gonna come, I said, who is we, right? So he said, it's me, the building inspector, a plumbing, HVAC, and a fire department. And I'm like, there was four people. So he says, yeah. So yeah, so sure enough, on that day, they showed up with four people. So I was told what by one of my buddy that like when they come, like out of those four people, the most crucial would be the fire department because it has to do with like a fire, right? So they will are gonna grill you with like with what you have done with uh your like electrical, right? So that's what my thinking was. So at that day, so that's what I was been preparing. So I had 1 month to like prepare, and I had to fix like what I have to fix just to minimize what they could see, right? So at this point, I was doing like homework. It's like you preparing for a test, right? That you don't wanna like you don't want them to find something that it can open up a can of worms, right? So that's what I was trying to do, like for that month. So on that day I was there. They came, they showed up, and so I did remember the fire department. This big black guy came, right, and it shut at the door. So I was being a professional, so I had to wear, like dress shirt. I was just like this, right? Like for them to treat me like professionally. So when they showed up, so the fire department came, and sure enough, they inspected my fire system, my smoke alarm system, right? And out of all those four people, the most lenient was the fire department, and I have a hard time with the who is this guy? This guy is from the plumbing department. Okay, so just to let you guys know, like when an inspector comes to your property, right? And this is what I have learned. Okay, that when they come to your property, especially if they don't like you, they can put a lot of stuff that on your a property that doesn't make any sense. So in this case, they put in a lot of stuff on my ticket that does not make any sense, right? So I had to just accept it. But at the end of the day, what they really want like for me to do was to basically like remove my kitchen. So I spent a lot of money on this kitchen. Probably spent about like 60 grand at this time. on my kitchen, right? So there was no way that I am going to like remove it. So my mistake was going back. The mistake that I made is that I could have just made a 6 bedroom, which that's what I was trying to do. Like, anyways, but I got so carried away that I put in a kitchen, so it now became a different issue because instead of a single family home, and now my inspector became a basement suites, which have a different type of inspections, right? So that's what they were trying get me to do, is to basically like remove my kitchen, which I can't remove the kitchen because I've done so much work on that kitchen, right? And my option was to turn the property into a basement legal suites, and that's what happened when I was doing it. So in my next video, I'm gonna show you guys what really happened, what I really have to go through to just rectify it.